Hey there folks, welcome back to the Dammâseq Campaign. Something I wanted to quickly note here before we get started is I start every episode with the Atlas map mode turned on and with the camera oriented to get my entire current political boundaries of my nation in the frame, just to kind of flex and get kind of a sense of where we are progression-wise. We reached a sort of threshold with that particular way that I open these episodes because I now am large enough in terms of the territory that I directly control, where I have to zoom out enough where on the Atlas map mode, the province names display as opposed to the tile names, so kind of a nice threshold to reach. This also incidentally gives us a pretty good orientation of how our nation is laid out provincially. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of acknowledge that before we get started here. That being said, we are back here in the Dammâseq Campaign. Last time we took out our enemy Tunip and secured the last section of Kadesh, so our wars in the north are over for now. Our dual junior partners, Ugarit and Tunip, will help keep us safe up here. Not expecting anyone to attack me or them anytime soon, hopefully, but I guess we'll see what ends up happening. Now we're going to turn our attention southward, but probably not for the remainder of our shot's lifetime. After the disastrous war with Tunip, it worked out in the end, but it was not an easy war to get to that victory point. I've decided that Arashat has earned some peacetime for the rest of her lifetime. No need to, overdo it. We can build back up our manpower, build up our treasury, continue to invest in our core infrastructure. We've been assimilating away steadily throughout the campaign. Now that we are, let's see here, 15, we're 65 years into the campaign, I believe. I think I have that math right, because I think we start in 785 YFF. We have 616 Dammâseqi, which incidentally, let me check the score really quick, puts us as the second most powerful nation in the world, just barely behind Minoa. Interestingly, Ta Shama is not even in the top 3. Well, we know where Minoa is. Yeah, the Minoa's been, let's see here. Yeah, they're Nosen culture. They've not been assimilating, so we probably have the strongest levy in the game at the minute, all things considered, which is great, on top of the fact that we, of course, are making smart use of mercenaries. Yeah, we're definitely firmly in the mid-game at this point. Whenever that switch actually happened, one could, debate about, but whatever the case, yeah, so we are doing quite well. Now, we do have temporarily too many relations because we have both Ugarit and Tunip as our client states, but we're going to get a technology in a couple of years to give us one more relationship slot, so that's not that big of a deal. And one thing we could also do, while we're talking about diplomacy, is switch off of bellicose stance. I think it's probably fine to go ahead and make this change, and probably switch over to mercantile. I think we've made enough use of bellicose stance for the start of the campaign, but we can play a bit more peacefully now, on top of, for example, having army maintenance at default now instead of at decreased when we're at wartime. I think we're totally fine to not have to rely on things like bellicose stance, and switch a bit more into taking advantage and kind of getting the most out of the territory that we've won for ourselves. So this episode's probably going to be a lot of territory management and sort of slave micro. We have an absolutely enormous 58% slave population, 718 slave pop units, which is the majority of our population, not just the plurality. This is not going to be very sustainable. Yes, with our current very high tyranny, we have an enormous output bonus for slaves, but as our tyranny goes down, I don't want to run a high tyranny style campaign because of the loyalty problems. We're going to talk about the Civil War situation in just a moment. That's related to that. But the slave output bonuses of high tyranny do have their downsides, and so ultimately, I want to assimilate all these slaves to be Dammâseqi and then promote them into more useful population like freemen and citizens and whatnot. So we're gonna get to work on that. Now I can also, once I have the proper laws, adopt a different kingdom style. We don't obviously have that set up at the minute. We have rank 1 in all the different civ advances now, so we have to keep waiting for getting additional actual research advances, but that's going to just take time. We need to, I think, get to bureaucracy 2 to get access to the different governments. So once we get to that, we could change our kingdom style. That's not going to happen for quite a while, so no need to worry too much about that. And yeah, in terms of the Civil War thing, so what's going on here is our threshold is down to 10.64%, with a character having 11.59% total power base. This character being Mr. Sipit Baal Milkramid, Now, what's irritating is I don't know if this part of the UI that I'm pointing out right now is wrong, or this part is wrong, or if they're both wrong, or if they're both right, and the system just is working in some other way, because this is telling me that he's not disloyal, and this is telling me that he is disloyal. So I know that 33 is the threshold for character loyalty, but this guy's above 33, is at 33.70, which means that he is considered blue, not red, and he's not disloyal. But the game thinks he's disloyal and is counting down Civil War months. So, once again, I don't know exactly what the reality here is. I think once this guy goes to 34 and up, he'll no longer be considered disloyal by the Civil War mechanics, even though the character loyalty mechanic doesn't think he's disloyal right now. I don't know what to make of it. I don't really have an easy way to make him loyal right this second. I could become his friend, but he is older, and this is pretty expensive for just this one small problem. I think this will go away on its own in a couple of months once he goes back up to 34 loyalty. Tyranny is reducing it quite a bit, and as Tyranny decreases, his personal loyalty should improve a little bit. But we may be able to get loyalty with him through some other means. Let me check really quick and see. I'm trading for fruit. I'm actually not trading for fruits. That probably is a contributor to why that guy doesn't have full loyalty. So let me actually adjust that really quick. Glad I thought to look at that. Let's see. What can I give up? I want to give up livestock. I'm trading for 3 sets of stone for some reason, so let me fix that. I actually don't even need this other set of stone too. We have 1 set of stone locally. So let's trade for fruit first of all. So we'll trade with the Egyptians. This on the monthly tick should fix that because now we have the 5 loyalty from that. So that's obviously good. And then let me get an earthenware trade going because for some reason I was not trading for earthenware. So yeah, my let's see, my trades were not set up correctly for some reason. That's fine. I noticed it now. So all is well that ends well. So with that being noted, this will hopefully go away on the monthly tick. We can now take a look at our nation and kind of get a sense of where things are in terms of provincial happiness and whatnot. So, in our core, of course, everyone's happy and assimilating along. Can I see? Oh yeah, let's do it like this. Unfortunately, I can't see the cultural breakdowns in the governorship version, but this is going to have to do. Okay, so Kanatha actually, let's see. Yeah, so Kanatha, no wait, that's not Kanatha. Yeah, that is Kanatha, what am I talking about? Kanatha is now over 80% Dammâseq, so I'm not going to bother looking to see that everywhere is assimilating. This place down here has been an assimilation machine throughout this campaign, so pretty pleased to that. I guess I will just, let's see, yeah. Or I'm still going to look, but I'm not going to move anybody around. It's almost entirely been addressed. Let's see, how many are left here? 3 men, 51. We have a lot of assimilation here, even without the policy, so I think Kanatha might be ready to switch to another policy. I can't do this right now, I don't have any PI right now, but I will probably switch this over to Borderlands for more manpower. We'll end up seeing what ends up making sense there. Fissure Springs as well, so Fissure Springs I'll probably also switch. We have almost all of the non-Canaanites assimilated. Where's this one, your Brudu living? Can I see that? Cannot see that. Oh well, we have assimilation going. Assimilation happens even without the policy in a lot of places, so I think we'll be okay. Right. Damascus Oasis, obviously. We're going to switch this over to Borderlands as well, and then Sa'aru as well has now reached 83%. That's pretty good. Although that being said, reaching 80% was my threshold to stop micromanaging the slaves. It's not my threshold to take it off of pop assimilation, so maybe I'll leave Kanatha, Fissure Spring, and Sa'aru on assimilation for a bit longer, but I could switch them to Borderlands and get a lot of manpower at that point, so worth considering. So let's now go through. So Siri Basani, let me check and see where everybody is. Alright, this slave here is leaving to Nijran, so this guy's not currently assimilating. This guy's also... Actually, there's no person here that's leaving, so... Yeah, everyone here is basically Dammâseq. So actually, let me think about this for a minute. What I probably want to do is move slaves that are wrong culture out of areas that have a lot of unrest in order to move them to places like Siri Basani that have room for assimilation. So over here in Kaman, we're nearly loyal. There's going to be a lot of people around here that can be assimilated. Down in Galad, obviously, we've been attending to this over time. This place is almost loyal, so we can't... Actually, we can't move out of Galad because there's no loyalty, so we have to wait for that, that's right. But we can move out of Kaman, out of the Kaman province. And we can't really move out of Mahanaim because they have to move through Galad, which we can't move through, so... Or we can't move out of, so we can't do anything about that. So over here in Rakat, I think we can probably drain out some of the non-Dammâseq slaves a little bit. Let's see. So into Mevohama, let's move some non-Dammâseq slaves to then move further into this direction. So from within this area, let's see here. So not from APEC, but from everywhere else. Yeah, but that was a Dammâseq by accident. Whoops. Have to be very careful with that. Alright. It's expensive, but it will be worth it in the end. Alright, that is everybody. Actually, APEC we don't want to move from. Oops. I am trading for, yes, vegetables. We're good. Okay, so now we've moved a bunch of people into Mevohama temporarily. This is obviously not going to last for very long, so we will move them away. So, let's see here. Probably want to move them through Carnium. So let's move them all into APEC. That's all we can do for now. Right, so we'll keep working on that, and the goal is to redistribute those non-Dammâseq slaves into my core, where they can be assimilated. I think I've done this before in the campaign as well. I think I did this in the Zhongnu campaign once too. But whatever the case, I think that's it for this January 1st. I think we've attended to everything. I guess let me check really quick. Anything emergency-wise going on up in the north. This is under control. This is all good. And then this is getting under control. It's gonna calm down after some time, so that should be good. Let's resume on speed 3. And I think on the monthly tick that Sipitball should go ahead and become loyal because of the fruit that we're importing now. So we shall see. Okay, yeah, this is just glitched. So that's, that should go away. If I restart the client, I've seen this before, if I restart the client, this does get fixed, but I don't want to restart the client because I'm trying to do my recording here. Is this referencing characters or is it referencing subjects? Hold on. You know what? While I'm recording, let me actually go ahead, let me save the game and actually reload the game from within the game client, just to try to fix that. I think that's just a bug, so let me, without damaging my recording, just continue the game. We're good to go here. A little technical fixing there. This guy isn't disloyal is the problem. It must be this number is wrong? I don't know what the, what's causing this. It's not talking about Galad, because this is characters or subjects are disloyal. Is it because my subjects aren't loyal? Is Ugarit loyal? I assume so. I mean, I'm sure Tunip's not loyal. What is this referencing to? Characters or subjects? Wait, do subjects have power base? Hold on. Alright, I need to figure this out. Let me see here. 41% loyalty. I think this is just referencing characters, but... Alright, I'm going to let another monthly tick happen. I don't know what's going on with this notification, because this guy's now at 38, which is more than enough to not be within range of disloyalty. So I don't have an explanation for that. Let's let another monthly tick go by. Maybe because he's considered within range, the game thinks he's disloyal. Because this is just a warning that he's close to disloyal. Granting him a holding would, I think, take him out of the disloyal characters menu. Because I don't know what's going on, and I'm nervous about this causing lots of problems. Let me grant this guy a holding just to be extra safe. This is basically 2 months of income. Let me give him a holding in the world's least, like, helpful place. How about Allward? We'll give you a holding in Allward. How about we sort this by... There we go. Okay, so I guess literally the Civil War thing looks at the disloyal characters menu and not whether they're actually mechanically disloyal. That's not very good, because the disloyal characters menu includes in blue those guys that are in, like, the danger zone of 10 loyalty or whatever. So that's irritating, but at least we figured out what's going on. Alright. Crisis averted. Refugees fleeing the war between Jaffa and Rabat Amun have crossed over into land that we consider our own. Whilst letting them settle here it would be the humanitarian thing to do, we should consider how this might affect our relationship with Jaffa. It is not too late to force them back. Get some people in Sukkot, which is here. We are doing assimilation here. A freeman and a citizen could affect the loyalty, but this place is quite loyal, so I think I'm happy just to get some more population. Sure. Sounds fine to me, honestly. I'm very excited for Civ Advance 5 when I can get roads. Literally, I think I've mentioned before, but roads are one of my favorite parts of Imperator Rome. I don't know why, they really, you know, they fulfill me in such a core way. I think a lot of other people like roads, too. A new seam. Our workers report a happy discovery, a new seam of valuable mineral wealth waiting to be taken from the ground in Mazada. Reports, initial reports are a little light on details, but it seems this could be the largest vein ever discovered in Aramean history. Truly an impressive amount. 400 gold and base metals over here. It produces stone at the minute. Base metals, I think, are a bit more valuable than stone. Actually, I can verify that really quick. Stone is 0.25. Base metals is 0.35, so it is more valuable. Or I could just not do this. I don't really have 400 gold just sitting around right now, so I'm not going to do that. Stone's perfectly fine. A proposal. The fact that Arashad is yet to marry has attracted the attention of many of the great families of the realm. It was therefore perhaps no surprise during recent festivities held by the house of Ormitba, Arashad was introduced to Daniel, a young and, according to some, very suitable match. Young indeed. This would be a cradle-robbing maneuver, which I don't really know if I want to do that with Arashad. The Ormitbas would like this a lot, but I don't think this is necessary. I'm not going to do that. Ormitbas are... I'm not pleased about this, but now we have Daniel. This guy's actually kind of a good character, too. 8-2, 8-8. Not great for being a governor, but I don't know if I want an Ormitba governor anyways. A good officer. In fact, I think I might make this guy an officer. So instead of being forced to marry a woman like 3 or 4 times his age, let's maybe give him a position in the court. Or as a researcher, potentially. Could put him here, but I think we're fine with older researchers. Let's see. So, not stewardship, or not finesse, but for some other position. Where would he be good for? I probably want to replace this guy. Well, actually, I think it's fine if we have a less good physician, actually, so that's not a big deal. Yeah, I think making him the master of the guard is the move, so... Wait, where'd he go? He had 8 martial, didn't he? Hold on. I thought he joined my realm. Where is he? Okay, I don't know where he went. Maybe the character like disappeared. Whatever, it's not a big deal. If I find him later, I'll make him an officer because he's pretty good for that. Yeah, even without anything here. 0.25 from tribesmen, okay. Yeah, should be able to go ahead. Unruly subject. Under the guidance of Abd Melkart, the first Milkermid, Tunip has started questioning our leadership, and they have grown unruly. Now they have officially grown hostile to our rule and started to ask for their and other subjects' leaders to cut the bonds to Dammâseq. The city Dammâseq, and start ruling themselves. Traitor! Tunip is causing some trouble. Well, I should have known you'd cause me more trouble, Tunip. Yeah. Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and start improving relation with them. I might actually make changing my stance more of a priority than changing some of my policies. I don't necessarily need all that manpower right this second. And switching from bellicose stance, possibly to domineering stance, to be honest. I guess the thing is, so getting more loyalty and opinion with their subjects could be quite handy. Let's not forget that Tunip does still have... actually, no, they don't have basically any Tunipite population, so Tunip should really integrate the Eblaites if they want to have any levy at all. And I don't see them lowering the levy they had during the war, so maybe they're smart enough to not lower their levy that they can't re-raise easily. Ugarit does have a sizable number of Ugariti, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on that for sure. Gonna need this AE to go down pronto, because it's affecting our stability quite a lot. We could also build another temple as well. Bull might be a good candidate. I don't know. I'll have to keep thinking about that. Okay. Training camp in Machna is done, which should, let's see, 6.270. Let's see what we go up to. 6.265, okay. We had some recalculations elsewhere, so it's not because of the training camp that we lost manpower. That's an illusion. We'll go back up later. I think we'll go up to Speed Fort and just chill. Levy is up to 25 cohorts, and 3 in the others. March of Time. Age finds us all in the end. Even the priests and surgeons shake their heads when confronted with the inevitable decline of the human body, as Arashat is finding out. She may not have much time left. She has a gout? That's not great. Okay, well, she's had a nice full life at this point, so it'll be sad to see her go. Ailing? Yeah, right. I think we are... She was ailing before, actually, I think, so... We'll see what happens, but a succession wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Daniel is in a pretty good position. He's not too old, only 39 at the minute. He's probably going to ascend sometime in his 40s, is what I'm guessing. And not the best marshal, as I've noted before, but he does have his wife's good marshal to help out. And he has Ahiram and his other son. They're both now coming of age. Marshal advances. Alright, so our administration expanded enough to get 1 free innovation. Yep, that's correct. Alright, so we want to go ahead and grab that... Where is it? Summit Tree. We could also go towards foreign networks to get it in a bit more time, but that's going to be like 10 years, or 8 years, 9 years, yes. Let's just grab Symmetry now. No need to play around. This is a lot of PI. We're losing for no reason. So, the act of holding regular summit meetings amongst similarly sized powers provides a splendid opportunity for making new friends or enemies. There we go. So that's been fixed. That's good. Yeah. We're good to continue. Still 25.80. Yeah, things are going pretty well. We lost one of our trades. Our fruit trade went away. We need that fruit back pronto. Trade with Assyria. Good stuff. How's Assyria doing, by the way? Border war is a little outrageous, but they have been colonizing the uncolonized land. Something in this mod, by the way, that I appreciate is the AI seems to have a pretty good idea of how to colonize the uncolonized land using the colonization mechanics that are different from the base game. So a lot of the stuff was uncolonized before. Where's Assyria's capital? Oh, it's Assur, of course. How's Assur doing as a city? 52 population down here. This could be a metropolis pretty soon. That's pretty crazy. Assyria doesn't love me that much because of my AE, but we have been trading a lot with them for many years now. Could an Aram-Assyria alliance perhaps be in the works? That would be interesting. Yeah, in terms of existential threats to Aram, I'm not scared of Jaffa basically at all. Although they have a lot of territory, they should be fairly easy to beat one-on-one, unless they bring some sort of mysterious ally. I'm a bit more concerned about the Egyptians. Henu Nushut is also not necessarily as scary as they look. They don't have a ton of population, but they will have the advantage of just a lot of resources. And obviously, Ta Shama is the main power for us to be concerned about. 560 Wassetans. This looks to me, these numbers, also they have Henu Nushut as a client state, so never mind about Henu Nushut being scary. We can incorporate them into the Ta Shama analysis. Okay, so Ta Shama is definitely the most nerve-wracking nation, although they're not really near me enough to be concerned about. There's a number of uncolonized places between me and them, and the whole Sinai Peninsula to worry about. Yeah, I will eventually try to sort of get involved in Egypt, but at the minute these guys are a little beyond challenge. They have a new king, or a pharaoh, excuse me, Dagi the First, Kui Amun, I mean. So that's interesting. Yeah. Also, Libya is formed. Very cool. Yeah, overall things are looking pretty good. I wonder if an alliance with Kypros could be interesting. These guys almost have full control of their island. They have some revolts and whatnot, but they would have some good resources to trade. I don't know how good they'd be at actually sending ships with soldiers over the water, so unclear how helpful Kuklia could actually be as an ally, but one to remember is over there for when the time does come. Yeah, I think we're going to save our PI and switch our stance. I guess the thing is, 25% commerce is a really, really, really big bonus to our economy. In fact, we can calculate how much it would be. Let's see, half of 13 is, let's say, 7. Well, yeah, let's round it to. No, let me do the math here actually. Okay, so 5. So 6 plus 6 is 12. 6.5. So half of 13 is 6.5. Which means that half of 6.5 is 3.25. So we get 3.25 gold from that one policy alone. I think I've done the math right. Or we could go to domineering stance to get more subject support. I actually care more about my subjects being on my side. I'm a bit nervous about a rebellion from Tunip. Not that they present a huge danger to me, but as we've seen earlier, they can cause us a lot of trouble just based on misfortune, so I think domineering stance might be the way to go. I think I have more than enough money at the minute. Let's get things under control with stances and whatnot. With the domineering stance, I mean. And that policy change would be 30 PI, so we're almost there at the minute. War exhaustion's also almost done, so that's going to help out a lot too. AE's decreasing quick. I also don't really want to get into more conflict during Arshot's life. She's down to poor health, which I think is what's below ailing. I guess I don't remember for sure. So we'll end up seeing what ends up happening with that. But yeah. Daniel, I think I'm going to get his son. So Ahiram is 5204. Not great, but it's okay. That is manageable. If we just get Ahiram a really good wife. So 5 Marshal as the general would probably be okay, especially if we have mercenary support. Basically every other stat we need to boost up. So let's try to get our grandson with Ahiram actually married here. Oh, there's so few people to work with. Holy crap, this is grim. We've got the old lady circle, and then we've got Abdasir as another option. She is 6 years older, but that's not a huge deal. Wouldn't help him at all with his finesse, so that's not great. Yeah, 2 finesse for our governor would be a big issue. What about his brother? Let me go back to... yeah. Abdastart. This guy's a lot more promising. 5 martial as a 14-year-old. 10 finesse. If we can somehow make this guy the heir over his older brother Aharam, I think we probably should try to do that. There are ways to do this. I'm thinking about it. But this would be a pretty big action. Only 0.30 tyranny for imprisoning my grandson. That's a little bizarre. Maybe because he's not my direct son. I do not know. Think about this. The issue is, if we do this, we're really committing to this plan. Daniel will not be happy with our actions, potentially. It doesn't say that he's going to be unhappy here. Executing him will surely... well, it's not displaying some mechanical effect, like, reaction from Daniel. Maybe he like won't do anything I mean, obviously in the like the lore, he would not be happy with this, but we could do this. This guy, though, why does he have corruption? Wait, what? He has 10 corruption, but he also has righteous, so how does he have 10 corruption? Where's this coming from? Okay, I don't know what's going on with that. It's like glitched out or something. Whatever the case, it's not that big of a deal. Also, Bat Noam is kind of a promising character, too. You know what, we're already being so tyrannical, maybe we can be a little bit more tyrannical. Aharam loses so much loyalty from this that we basically have to kill him once we imprison him. We can't, like, let him go and put him back into a position to do stuff. He's cold and greedy, so let's just say that that's the reason we're doing this. Okay, so how did my son feel about that? Daniel doesn't care at all. What an absolute monster. 83 loyalty, does not care. Let's see. So banishing... I think banishment takes him out of the line of succession, but then he could come back as a claimant with a foreign nation. I don't know if you can do that in CK3. I don't know if you can do that in this game. Or I could just kill him. Was executed. Yeah, so that was a little evil, but now we do have a slightly more optimal succession. Maybe my most evil act I just did kind of flippantly there, but yeah. Aharam, sorry buddy, 2 finesse is not enough. You're going to the clouds. So, alright, well with that action being done, I feel a bit better about Daniel being the successor. Alright, let's just casually murder our grandson, you know how it goes. The things I do for Aram, what can I say? Alright, everybody is happy now except for Catan, that's great. The preeminent Esh Munhilis Milkermid, this is my physician. Some say that throughout Aram there is one constant: the deeds and character of Esh Munhilis Milkermid precede him, from the villas of the capital to the shabbiest border town. Esh Munhilis has risen to great prominence and position as a public servant and aristocrat, and through his legendary private surveys has the ear of everyone worth knowing in Dammâseq. He could make a useful domestic ally. I could spend this money, become friendlier with this guy, which isn't that big of a deal. Gain popularity, and he rivals me, or just lose popularity. I think I'll just, well, I think it's probably fine to lose a little bit of popularity. I don't really want a rivalry from that guy on Arashat. Could cause problems. Once this is fortified, I'll feel a lot safer up here, but it's almost back under control. Also, let me check and see. Does any place have any trade routes available yet? I'm not expecting so, but you never know. Worth to check every so often. I think we're fine. 632. Yeah, we're looking good. Bountiful harvest. Okay, we could get 3 stability, or we could get 200 gold. So that's 10 months of gold. Actually, less than that. Let's round it to, like, 9 months of gold. Versus, yeah, 3 stability is much better than that, even though this seems like such a big difference to go for that. Once our AE is back down to 0, the stab change will be stabilized, so I think we'll be fine, in all honesty. We have some pretender support, but nothing too serious, I don't think. Yeah, Daniel is still the clear successor, so that's good. We could hold games for that matter. I don't really think we need to do that. I think we're fine. Let's just continue along. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change my policy. Whoops. I got too distracted murdering my grandson. My bad. Okay, so we could... So again, if my math is right, we're going to get around 3 gold from that, or... And also lots of diplomatic opinion with everybody, so that's another advantage of Mercantile. Or Domineering Stance, which I think is a bit more narrowly tailored for our specific situation. Plus, this gives us more loyalty and integration speed if we want to do integration, which we will eventually want to do, although not right now, probably. So let's adopt that. A domineering diplomatic stance is one where focus is entirely devoted on the tying of foreign subject states closer to the mother country. Alright, this should help out a little bit. We are boosting relations with these guys as well. Good stuff. Yeah, I think we are looking solid. We're so close behind Manoa. Manoa is really far away from us, so I'm not really worried about Manoa presenting any problems for us. Uruk has a casus belli on Manoa. How on earth does this casus belli exist? Like, literally what? What? How does this casus belli exist? I have no explanation for this, like, international casus belli. What in the world? Okay, that's pretty goofy. I have no explanation for that one. But okay, sure. Uruk has a claim on Manoa. Okay. Yeah, go for it. I don't know how that's happened, but I guess somehow such a thing has occurred. Whatever. Petition. The wealthy residents of Harbesia have sent a formal petition on behalf of the entire province complaining about Daniel. Alright. Loyalty for Daniel, not that big of a deal. He's pretty loyal. I don't want to upset Sha'Irit. Gain popularity, lose loyalty on Daniel. He loses money. Or, yeah, let's do that. I'm not going to fire Daniel. I guess I could have done that and just rehired him immediately, but I think we're fine. Alright, and let me actually go ahead and do some of those policy changes that I mentioned. So, Damascus Oasis, I'm going to switch back over to Borderlands, I think. I guess I could switch it over to Assimilation. Let's see, all the nobles, all the citizens, and all the freemen are Dammâseq. It's probably just slaves that aren't Dammâseq. I'm assuming that's the case. I guess we have a couple non-Dammâseq Sa'aru. But these guys are assimilating gradually, so we can switch this over to Borderlands at this point. And let's switch one more place over to Borderlands as well. Probably Fissure Spring is ready for that. Or Kanatha. Yeah, I think Kanatha is ready to switch over. Because Fissure Spring still has those wrong culture group people. I kind of want all the wrong culture group people that were dropped off there by the barbs to be assimilated before we switch it. So let's switch Kanatha over to Borderlands. Then on the monthly tick, we'll see what effect this has. So 25.88 and... Let me look at it like this, actually. So we're going to see the income change, 25.88. Then let's remember 6.570. 25.58, 6.670. So the manpower went up. The treasury, I guess we did go off of a treasury boosting thing, so the treasury changing isn't too surprising, but more manpower, that's always handy. Alright. Fortification up here is done, finally. Holy crap. And then this is almost secure. I need to make this a city now. Actually, it already is a... Wait, is it a city? No, it's not a city. I need to found a city here, so we have to wait for that. That's fine. We could also improve opinion with Ugarit. I think let's just get this going, just to be thorough. We're not going to get a lot of progress from that, but it will... I just want to keep the stuff topped off as best I can at the minute. Wow, this music bumps. I'm loving it. Alright, and then around us, Jaffa is fighting Rabat Aman. I'm assuming Jaffa's going to win this war, but I guess we'll see what happens over here. These guys are also fighting Jericho in a separate war. Jericho's also attacking them. Yeah, I think Jericho's in a better position to get their territory, but we shall see. Kind of looking around. Oh, we have another trade route. What did we lose? Or we don't have another trade route. We have a trade route available again. I can't tell what we lost access to. We have everything in pairs, so I sort of don't have an explanation here. I guess I'll just trade for value, probably. Maybe that's what we lost. No lapis lazuli. I'll just trade for gold with tunic, actually. Perfect. It's going to help me too. And then I forgot to move my slaves earlier, so let's do that now. So we have a lot of slaves living over here, starving to death in Apex. Sorry about that, guys. Forgot about that. Alright. So these guys we're going to redistribute into my core. So here in Carnium, let's see here. Pop info. So we need, let's move, let's see, anywhere that has more than like just one non-Dammâseq. I think everywhere should get, Carnium still has a lot of Carniemi living here. So yeah, Carnium can stay. Yeah, so everywhere in this province except for Carnium and Ainthakar needs more people. So let me get those movements going from APEC. Let's move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm counting actually. I don't need to count. Let's get all these guys over. APEC. Grab this guy too. And over here as well. Great. And then the rest of the non-Dammâseq slaves in APEC, I'm going to move probably to Ainthakar to then move into Siribasani. Yeah. About this for a minute. 89, or sorry, 84. 89. Yeah, okay. Put the pops here. Alright, and then here in Ainthakar, let's keep them moving into Siribasani. Now I'm not going to have non-Dammâseq moved into Kanatha. Kanatha is going to be my core in the south, essentially, as it's been developing towards it for a long time. Weirdly enough, despite its desolation down here, or desolus, I mean. Plains on a river is the best kind of tile we're going to see around here, so I think that's fine. Alright. So all these slaves, I'm going to move first into Siribasani itself. And then we actually have a lot of people here as well. We have -1 horses being produced here because of that event. That's kind of funny. Alright, so from Ainthakar, all of the non-Dammâseq slaves I'm going to move in. And then the rest will leave at Ainthakar for it to work on assimilating. Okay, and then let's not forget that Apex still has a bunch of Dammâseq slaves, but I guess that's fine, actually. These guys can just migrate around on their own accord. Okay, so with this team that now lives in Siribasani, let's redistribute them around here, and then we'll move the rest up here into Saaru to redistribute up there. So, first of all, let's see here. So, I think everywhere here... Actually, Zaizun still has plenty of people to assimilate, so not in Zaizun, but everywhere else probably could do with more Dammâseq. Or with more non-Dammâseq, I mean. Hulhuiti got some population from an event, I think, or from a mission, so not in Zaizun and not Hulhuiti, but everywhere else. Nijran has more than enough people to work on, so we're fine there, because people moved to Nijran on their own. Okay, so let's get to work. Move population from Siribasani. At the minute, we'll just move one. And then from Siribasani. Siribasani, I'll move this guy. This is a lot of micro, but ultimately, these like Dammâseq slaves are gonna promote much faster than non-Dammâseq, and everyone that's even when they're not Dammâseq yet, they can still promote up to freemen because they're obviously not integrated if they're not Dammâseq. All right, these guys as well from Siribasani, and then we'll move 2 over here because there's no one here at the minute. From Siribasani. Up here as well. Okay, perfect. Okay. Good. And then the rest here that are non-Dammâseq, basically 15 of these guys, I'm going to move up into Mamtina to get redistributed around Saaru. Siribasani. This might be my most evil episode yet. I've murdered my grandson and I'm doing some Trail of Tears ass behavior here. But, you know, it's all for the sake of more assimilation. Alright, Siribasani, send these guys up. Anyone that's not Dammâseq gets to go. They don't have to go, they get to go. That's what we're going to say. Alright, perfect. Now from here, I'm assuming all these guys... I haven't heard this track before. It's kind of a cool track. Yeah, all these guys, all these places need more assimilation, basically. So yeah, holy crap. We actually don't have any, do we have promotion going on? No promotion or demotion. Okay. Whatever the case, over here, Tariq has probably enough. Hold on. We could probably do... Yeah, let's just redistribute these guys to everywhere, so... Actually, I think I might move 2 instead of just 1 for each. So it does suck. So we need to do it from Mamtina. Mamtina. Those were Dammâseq. Whoops. And Mamtina. Move from Mamtina. Alright, and then here as well from Mamtina. And here as well. And then lastly here as well. Okay. And then over here in Beit Jin, we have a lot of Dammâseq slaves. We have precious metals, so that's why we have a lot of Dammâseq slaves. Let me actually get a 3rd copy of precious metals here. Actually, you know what? What I should be doing is focusing on Katafia, which became a city during that war. This place here could get a workshop for more slave ratio. Let me actually, let me invest a bit over in my planned gold slave city in the Desert Hills. So first things first, 1 more copy of gold from the workshop is obviously something we want, and then foundry is probably going to be critical over here as well. Let's see, if we want this to just be slaves, how do we maximize that? I think it's just the foundry is what we want. Yeah. And then we can move slaves up here as well. Let's move enough to get, let's see. So once we have the workshop, this doesn't affect the min amount needed. I think we can move 22 slaves up here, or rather, we can move, let's see, 19 slaves up here. Let's find 19 Dammâseq slaves, if possible, to move up here. Alright, from Adra, we can do that. That's all we can do at the minute. We need to move more Dammâseq slaves into Adra. From Dammâseq is fine. Alright. I think we have more than enough now. Alright, from Adra, let's see here. 7. We need 22 in total for the extra copy without it being a... Oh, now it's just 20. Okay, so we just need 13. There we go. And then actually, just to be thorough, I'm going to move the Bruduans. Actually, I'll just leave it as... I'm not going to micro it that hard. Okay, so we now will have another copy of gold to sell, and once we get those buildings constructed, the slave bonuses will be even more amplified. That will be quite good. Slave promotion is not going to be allowed here, and then let me actually just be thorough, check and make sure all my gold tiles don't allow slave promotion. I'm just going to disable it preemptively, even if there's no mine built there yet, just to be thorough, so we're not accidentally promoting these slaves out of their gold mining ways. Alright, I think we're good. Good stuff. Let's continue. Trade with these guys. That's fine. Yeah, there we go. That should help our economy a fair bit. Yep. I love watching the current balance, which is a daily calculation, like bounce around throughout the month. Love that. And we can change more of our policies here as well. Alright, Fish of Spring, I think we have like one wrong culture group person. I think we can switch this over now. This is going to be worth a lot of manpower. So 6.8, yeah, 6.867 Borderlands. And then we're actively working on assimilation here, here, and here. So I don't want to change that now. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so all the provinces that aren't working on assimilation are switched over to Borderlands. That's perfect. Alright, everywhere is happy. This is almost happy. It's almost under control. Once a few more people demote, we're going to be fine. And now we wait to have enough PI to found that city that I wanted to found. Down here in... Oh no, not Husin. Where do I want to found the city? Up here at Jayid. But at Husin we can do other stuff, I think. Almost. Actually, we can with the money. So once a few more months go by, we can finally build some buildings down here. I think step one, just to get because the leader visiting thing will go away eventually. I think what I want to do is, first things first, probably build a peacekeeper down here. That's going to help out a lot with the unrest. Gilead's been like a disloyal province for such a long time. I want to finally get that under control. Alright, trade gold to the Egyptians, that's fine. I want to ultimately be friendly with the Egyptians for this phase of the campaign. The faith of Sili Dagon. Never has a more devout man existed than Sili Dagon, our high priest. Alright, so we've seen this event before. 18 gold for 6 stability is 100 billion% worth it, so we're going to go for that right there. Even though it delays our building plan very slightly, perfectly fine. Actually doesn't delay very much at all. Alright, so first things first, Peacekeeper down here before the fort even. This is a huge priority. Being able to switch this off of harsh treatment will help out a lot as well with the province's value, so that sounds fine to me. And then Amatu, I can probably safely switch now. Maybe I can switch it to... Let's see here. Yeah, this is manageable. Good. Yeah, I think this all looks good to me. How is my queen doing? Very poor health. Alright, yeah, we've seen this before. Fortunately, Daniel is in a good position to take over with his, let's see, Abdestart. Still only 5 martial. Hopefully he gets a 6th martial point before he comes of age. We shall see what ends up happening with that. Alright. Of the people. Our ongoing attempt to woo the highly skilled statesman Milk-Pilis has encountered a hitch. Being a true man of the people, Milk-Pilis has decided to invest in the creation of a beautiful monument to please the Aramean people. To complete this task, he requires a large number of able-bodied souls, if we were to provide such assistance. So we're just trying to, okay, let's see here. 15 gold, or, sorry, 15 PI for 106 gold is probably, actually, it is a worthwhile trade, I think. This is actually possible right now. This seems like kind of a bad trade, though. We don't really need the manpower right this second, but honestly, yeah, I think we'll just decline to do this. I don't want to go into bankruptcy even for a few months, because goofy stuff could happen. Should probably avoid that. This is not a good time, unfortunately. 7.1 manpower now, 7.1k manpower, I should say, and cohort-wise, 27 cohorts, and 4 and 4 in my other 2 regions, so that's pretty good. Good progression there. Food problems in Ubrudu. What? Why? Why do we have food problems over here? Oh, you know, it's probably... No, it can't be from the slaves I moved, because they were here before, so I don't know why suddenly we have food problems. Well, I guess like father, like daughter with your Ubrudu famines. We'll figure this out next time, because that's going to be it for this episode of the Dammâseq Campaign. A very peaceful episode of reconstruction and kind of getting geared up for the remainder of Arashat's reign, which isn't probably too much longer now. She didn't necessarily do seemingly a lot in her shorter reign, because obviously Ibn reigned for many, many decades and had a lot of momentum, but Arashat's done a lot of good work in kind of solidifying Ibn conquests and making them a truly one cohesive nation and the core of a great empire to come. So definitely stick around for where this campaign is going. Feeling pretty good about the progression so far, but let me know in the comments what you think about Dammâseq and then Iram's ascent here in the Middle Bronze Age and where things may go from here. Whatever the case, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.